Ladies and gentlemen, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. We are coming up on the Reloaded update for Season 1 in Warzone, Cold War, and I guess technically Modern Warfare as well. But before then, we've got one more update to go, this week's update, and today we actually got a slight preview as to what we can expect over in Cold War. And then on top of that, we recently got a pretty interesting announcement regarding the future of Warzone, and if and when it comes to fruition, it could actually seriously improve the general state of the game. So as we go through everything today, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new here, or if you're a part of the 60% of viewers who aren't already subscribed, we are coming up on 700,000 subs. So if you want to stay on top of everything going on in COD, this is the place to be. So feel free to subscribe and maybe even turn on those post notifications. So admittedly, this week's update in Cold War really isn't going to be anything too crazy. The content preview this week doesn't have a ton in store for any of the titles, honestly, which is to be expected. This is the final update before the Reloaded update, which is going to be the biggest update we have until Season 2 begins at the end of February. But first off, in Cold War, we are going to be getting 3v3 gunfight snipers only as like the main new playlist for this week. And this is going to take place on the gunfight maps like Game Show, ICBM, KGB headquarters, and also U-Bahn. And of course, it is going to be snipers only. Also, not really sure why it's like this, but previously the 3v3 modes have been really good for weapon XP, so if you are trying to rank up your snipers at all in Cold War, this playlist could actually be really good for that. Then Treyarch also revealed that we're going to have Nuketown 24/7 sticking around, Face Off is also going to be in there, and Prop Hunt is continuing on as well, so it seems like there's going to be a lot of variety for the playlist this week. Now, one thing I was kind of curious about was that of League play, since obviously that does not have a confirmed date over on the Reloaded roadmap. However, we did just have the whole CDL kickoff event this past weekend, so I was thinking that maybe that'd be debuting this week to sort of, I guess, hype up the CDL debut as well. Turns out though, that does not appear to be the case, and now if I were to guess, that'll probably be coming out on the 4th alongside the other major Reloaded content that we know of, like Firebase Z, the brand new Zombies map, and Express, and all of that stuff. Now, unfortunately, Activision didn't really preview this week's Warzone update whatsoever. For whatever reason, normally they do. This week, I guess they didn't. But we can assume we're going to be getting a brand new playlist update there, likely with one of the playlists that we have right now on the roadmap between Armored Royale, Rumble, and or Mini Royale. And of course, come Thursday, we're going to be going over all the changes in the updates for Warzone, Cold War, and then also Modern Warfare 2. But then the final thing that was previewed in this week's blog post is that of the new store content. And from this, we know we're getting a brand new Tracer Pack Rogue bundle for Port Nova. This is going to come with an SMG and attack rifle blueprint that of course have some Tracer rounds on them. And then later on this weekend, there's going to be the Deadly Grip bundle for Sims. That's going to come with a Milano and a Hauer blueprint. But overall, nothing really too crazy in terms of this week's update. Like I said earlier though, all that large scale content is planned for next week on February 4th. Also, that said, I would expect the whole Reloaded update to be an actual title update. We may see the physical patch itself go live a bit earlier to prep for the Reloaded content, or we may just see an overnight title update from the 3rd going into the 4th, but considering we're getting a new multiplayer map and a brand new zombies map at the very least, it should definitely be a larger download, so just keep that in mind, prepare your hard drives for that one. Now, outside of the weekly blog post, later on last week, we actually got some news regarding the future of Warzone. And from that, I mean, we can hope a much needed update is going to stem from it. But basically, Charlie Intel tweeted out last week saying, in an interview with Screen Rant, the head of leagues at Activision Blizzard says they're working to incorporate Warzone into their competitive plans and more info is coming soon. Then the official statement says, there are plans to bring Warzone to Call of Duty League, and we're excited to announce those plans in the coming weeks and months. We've been closely monitoring the introduction and the wild popularity of Warzone since last spring. We did bring in Warzone related content with our pros last season, but we've taken the off season to think about what a more structured investment would look like. There are some really exciting things to come as early as this season. So competitive Warzone looks to be on deck for Call of Duty's big plans in 2021. And well, personally, it wouldn't really make a huge difference to me if there was or wasn't a competitive Warzone league. This could potentially help out the main game a ton. And here's why. Anti-cheat. As we know, Warzone is currently plagued by hackers. I mean, just yesterday, Lazy and I were playing and we got put into 3 matches in a row with hackers. We played like 4 matches with hackers out of 7 games or something like that. Hackers are constantly ruining matches with basically no consequences whatsoever. They just have to jump on and make a brand new account, then they're back to ruining everyone else's experiences. And even during the whole Twitch Rivals event from last week, $250,000 250,000 buckaroos were on the line Obviously, that is a lot of money, maybe not as much as like 250,000 coals cash, but you know, that's a pretty big deal, right? And there were multiple cheating accusations being thrown around. Some were accurate, some were not, but the fact that that was one of the biggest Warzone tournaments to date, we've got potential cheaters in that without any real way to confirm they were cheating or not, is kind of crazy. I mean, we have an anti-cheat and it's pretty straightforward. Was he cheating? Was he not cheating? That literally solves that issue, or at least creates a pretty big barrier there in the first place. Also, in the, it's called the Open Challengers series or whatever for the CDL over in Cold War, there have been teams of cheaters competing in the Challengers brackets. They're actually winning series and advancing, costing other legitimate teams a shot at getting into the money. Now, I would think that Activision is going to see that and say, okay, we cannot have cheaters in our official CDL tournaments. You know, how are we going to combat this? This has to stop. I mean, that's what we would hope their response would be, right? So going back to the news of Warzone getting into the CDL, same deal here. Obviously, hackers are one of Warzone's biggest issues right now. Maybe they are the biggest issues. So if we get into tournaments and we have kids dropping 60 kills with a 50% headshot ratio, obviously those teams, those players are going to have a ton of attention on them. And ideally, that can sort of kickstart this anti-cheat update that we so desperately need. I mean, from a business standpoint, having cheaters in major tournaments is not a good look whatsoever. Activision is a money-making company at the end of the day. I just can't imagine an actual competitive league without a proper anti-cheat in the game that can actually combat Timmy Quickscopes from using an aimbot to win all that spicy coals cash. So while nothing is set in stone, we know that we're going to be getting more information on the Warzone CDL update in the coming weeks and months. And as new info comes out there, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated if there's anything major that actually stems from it. But overall, this could mean good things for normal Warzone players if things go as one would think they would. I mean, like I said, if we're going to have these major tournaments sponsored by Activision, held by Activision, there's no shot they're going to allow cheaters in there. I would hope, I would assume. So could an anti-cheat finally be coming to Warzone? This to me makes it seem more likely than ever. So yeah, there you have it. That is effectively everything that was revealed about the next updates for Cold War and Warzone, and how Warzone's biggest issue could finally be getting fixed. And that's pretty much going to wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new here and you want to stay up to date with the latest Call of Duty news, intel, updates, and pretty much everything else in between, feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. That way you'll always know whenever I post a new video. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code WhosImmortal for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, and Control Freak products, and the links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.